Look at it. It's beautiful, isn't it? The jewel of our solar system. But that beauty is a lie. Those rings aren't just jewelry. They are a crime scene. Billions of years ago, a moon, maybe the size of Titan, wandered too close. Saturn didn't just push it away. It ripped it apart, shredded it down to the bone. What you are seeing when you look at Saturn is not a halo. It is a graveyard. It is the shattered remains of a murdered world, smeared across the sky for eternity. And the monster that did it, it's still hungry. Today, we aren't just talking about a gas giant. We are talking about the most violent object in our neighborhood. September 15th, 2017, a billion miles from Earth. A tiny robot named Cassini is screaming. It's diving headfirst into Saturn's atmosphere at 75,000 miles per hour. It's burning, melting, vaporizing. Why? Because NASA killed it. They had to. Cassini had fuel left, but the risk was too high. If that probe had crashed into one of Saturn's moons like Enceladus or Titangent, it could have contaminated them with Earth bacteria. We destroyed a billion-dollar machine to protect life that we haven't even found yet. But, in its final moments, Cassini tasted the atmosphere of the beast. And the data it sent back right before it died changed everything we thought we knew. To understand the graveyard, you have to understand the weapon. Gravity isn't just a force that pulls things down. It's a force that pulls things apart. There is an invisible line around every planet called the Roche limit. Stay outside the line. You're safe. You stay a moon. But cross that line, the gravity pulling on your front side becomes so much stronger than the gravity pulling on your backside that you snap. You stretch. You crumble. Saturn has a massive Roche limit. Millions of years ago, a moon crossed it. It didn't stand a chance. The ice and rock were ground into dust, and that dust spread out into the rings we see today. You are looking at a corpse in slow motion. Here's the part that keeps astronomers up at night. The rings are temporary. We used to think they were as old as the solar system, 4 billion years. Wrong. Data suggests they might be younger than the dinosaurs. Maybe only 100 million years old. If an alien astronomer had looked at Earth during the Jurassic period, they would have seen a boring, ringless beige planet. We are just lucky to be alive in the narrow window of time to see them. But they are vanishing. Saturn is eating them. Gravity is pulling the ice crystals down as rain. Every second, Saturn swallows a swimming pool's worth of rainwater. In a few 100 million years, they will be gone completely. The graveyard will be empty. Now, let's go to the North Pole. If you look at Earth's poles, you see ice. If you look at Jupiter, you see chaos. If you look at Saturn, you see geometry. A perfect hexagon. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a storm. And it is massive. You could fit 4 Earths inside it. The winds are moving at 300 miles per hour, taking sharp 90-degree turns. Nature doesn't do straight lines. Not usually. Fluids don't make corners. Scientists have tried to replicate this in labs with spinning buckets of water, and they can sort of do it. But nothing explains the stability of this thing. It's been there for decades, maybe centuries. A 6-sided hurricane that never ends. It looks artificial. It feels wrong. If you could stand on a platform in Saturn's upper clouds, you wouldn't just be crushed by pressure. You would go deaf. But not from wind. From radio waves. Cassini recorded the plasma waves moving between Saturn and its moon Enceladus. When we shifted those waves into the human audio range, We didn't get static. We got screaming. It sounds like a horror movie soundtrack. High-pitched, wavering shrieks. It's the sound of the magnetic field ripping through particles. It's the sound of a planet that is electrically charged and hostile. NASA released the audio files. I'm not kidding when I say people have trouble listening to them alone in the dark. Let's back away from the monster for a second and look at its children. Enceladus. It's a tiny, white ball of ice. It reflects almost all the sunlight that hits it, making it freezing cold. Minus 300 degrees. But underneath that shell, it's warm. Cassini flew through plumes of water shooting out of cracks in the South Pole. Salt water, organic molecules. There is a global ocean under that ice. And where there is water and heat, there is a chance for life. Not little green men, microbes, bacteria, something living in the dark, heated by the friction of Saturn's gravity, pushing and pulling on the moon's core. We might not be alone, and our neighbors might be swimming right now. Then there is Titan, the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere, thicker than Earth's. If you slapped wings on your arms, you could fly on Titan just by flapping. But don't take your helmet off. The air is nitrogen and methane. And it rains. But it doesn't rain water. It rains liquid natural gas. There are lakes, rivers, and seas of methane and ethane. It looks like Earth, but the chemistry is alien. It's familiar yet horrifying. The mountains are made of rock-hard water ice. The dunes are made of hydrocarbon plastic dust. It is a distorted mirror of our own home, trapped in a deep freeze. We call it a gas giant, but that name is misleading. It makes you think you can fly right through it like a cloud. You can't. As you go deeper, the hydrogen gas gets squeezed. It becomes a liquid. Go deeper, and it becomes a metal. Metallic hydrogen. It conducts electricity. It creates that screaming magnetic field. And deep down, we don't know. We used to think there was a solid rock core. Now, recent data suggests the core is fuzzy. It's not a solid ball. It's a soup of rock and ice and metal mixed with the gas, spread out over half the planet's radius. The planet doesn't have a floor. It just gets thicker and hotter until you cease to exist. Saturn isn't done eating. We see small moonlets inside the rings. They act like shepherds, keeping the rings in line. But sometimes they get eaten too, or they eat each other. We've seen objects in the F ring colliding, breaking apart, and reforming. It's a violent, chaotic dance. This happens on a timescale we can actually watch. Most of astronomy is slow. Stars take billions of years to die. Galaxies merge over eons. But Saturn's rings, they change every week. It is the most active, dynamic laboratory for destruction we have access to. Every 30 years or so, Saturn burps. A massive storm erupts in the northern hemisphere. They call it the Great White Spot. It wraps around the entire planet. The last one was in 2010. Imagine a thunderstorm that covers the entire surface area of Earth, 10 times over. Lightning bolts 10,000 times stronger than anything in Texas. These storms churn up material from deep below, dredging up the guts of the planet for us to see. And then, just as quickly, they vanish. They leave behind turbulence that lasts for years, but the beast goes back to sleep. We are due for another one soon. We aren't done with Saturn. We can't be. NASA is building something new. Not a satellite. Not a rover. A drone. It's called Dragonfly. It's a nuclear-powered octocopter the size of a car. It's going to Titan. It will fly through that thick orange smog, land on the plastic dunes, and sample the chemistry. It will hop from location to location, looking for prebiotic chemistry, looking for the building blocks of life. It's launching soon, and when it arrives in the 2030s, we are going to see Titan not from orbit, but from the ground. We will see the pebbles. We will see the methane horizon. Saturn, along with Jupiter, is the reason we are here. In the early days, the solar system was a shooting gallery. Rocks everywhere. Saturn's gravity acted as a vacuum cleaner. It flung Neptune and Uranus further out. It threw asteroids into the sun. It threw some at us, but it also shielded us. It's a bully, but it's our bully. Without Saturn stabilizing the outer orbits, Earth might have been bombarded into dust a long time ago. We owe our existence to this gas giant, even as it sits there destroying its own moons. So, what happens if you fall in? Let's say you jump off a spaceship right above the clouds. First, you fall through ammonia crystals. It's white and freezing. Then, the clouds turn brown. Ammonium hydrosulfide. The smell would be unbearable rotten eggs and sulfur. Then, darkness. The sun fades away. The pressure builds until it feels like a car is parked on every inch of your body. The temperature skyrockets. You aren't crushed by a surface impact. You are compressed until you become part of the fluid. You become part of the planet. There is no escape. Saturn reminds us that the universe is not static. It is violent. It is changing. And it is temporary. Those rings, the most beautiful thing we can see through a telescope, are a fleeting accident, a cosmic blink of an eye. In the distant future, Earth will have rings too, when the moon gets too close and rips apart. Saturn is a mirror showing us our own future. It's a graveyard, yes, but it's the most beautiful graveyard in existence.